our Home on the West Side program. And what I want to make, we've done this the last few summits, and it's actually, we've gotten some buyers out of it. But I'm going to go through in just a moment homes we have available for sale in English Avenue and Vine City. And a key about our Home on the West Side program is our criteria to prioritize folks for our homes. So if you've lived in the neighborhoods on the West Side, if you have worked in the neighborhoods, if you have graduated from Booker T. Washington High School, if you graduated from one of the Atlanta University schools, if you work at the Atlanta University Center, those are our criteria to prioritize, because we want to lean into the history of these neighborhoods as we prioritize people coming back into the community. Like my chair, Dallas, being here this morning, thank you from Hunter Hills. And what's also very special about our program is the assistance we provide thanks to a lot of philanthropic support and public support to help get people into affordable rental and affordable homes. And Miss Tamika, raise your hand, Tamika, she's out. But when I go through these slides, if you say, I'd like to follow up on that, please go see Tamika. So these are some of the homes we have for sale. This is one on Paynes Avenue. And when you look at the sales price, thanks to our down payment assistance programs, depending on what you earn, that's not the price you're going to pay. So we really gear our program to serve those in kind of the workforce housing band. So, $60,000 to $80,000. Our average down payment award is probably between $50,000 and $70,000, which buys that price down. So the price you would actually pay is less than what you're seeing. So please, if you want to understand how you qualify against our down payment assistance program, please enroll in the program with Tamika. This is one on Pond Street, and also our real estate team does a great job, but we're also very mindful in everything that we're building to align with the design guidelines that are part of the West Side Land Use Framework Plan. So you'll see that with the homes we're bringing online. This is on Lindsay Street, on North Avenue. This is, you can see the design one to come on English Avenue. And another one on English Avenue. And another one on English Avenue. There'll be. So we have a lot of more homes that we can develop. So we're really trying to get more people into our pipeline, because the more people we have in our pipeline, the faster we can kind of turn the metal on bringing our homes online. So please follow up with Tamika. And also want to mind our different social media handles to get connected. And at the very end of the summit, we always have a drawing thanks to Goodwill and the Home Depot Foundation. So make sure you pick up a ticket, because I'll call out a number at the very end to win that gift certificate. All right, so now I'm going to shift into our devotion, which for me is always a really special part of our program. In just a second, I'll read this statement, but we've always, and for those that are newcomers, we have always grounded the inspiration for our devotion from the lessons of Nehemiah in the Older Testament. And the lessons from Nehemiah around rebuilding Jerusalem, and not just the physical, but the values that go into the rebuild. So we always ask our devotion speaker to draw inspiration from Nehemiah. And I think that this morning we've got one that's going to nail it. But just to ground it, I'm going to read this devotion statement. It's become our tradition to begin our meetings with a positive, inspirational message from a member of our community. Recognizing that many in our community are driven by their spiritual faith to participate in the West Side revitalization effort, the time at the beginning of our meetings is an opportunity to share various inspirational reflections. While the speakers may articulate their personal faith, it's meant to be inclusive, inspiring, and meaningful, with the story of Nehemiah as our guide. So this morning we have a real privilege. We're excited for this message this morning for someone whose life reflects resilience, purpose, and a deep love for community. At the age of 7, Ivana lost her mother to breast cancer. In a powerful act of love, her uncle and aunt adopted her and her siblings. Her uncle, who she calls her father, was raised in Vine City and English Avenue, and his stories of pride and perseverance shaped her foundation. Ivana built a career in affordable housing, beginning as a leasing consultant and rising into leadership roles. she has always understood that housing is more than shelter. It's the start of stability and opportunity. Today, she serves as an asset manager and compliance specialist at Invest Atlanta. Recently, she and her children moved back to English Avenue, coming home to honor her family legacy and invest in the neighborhood she now serves. So let's give her a warm welcome as she comes up to lead us in our devotion.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How y'all doing today? Thank you for joining me this early. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the Westside Future Fund for their unwavering commitment to community, affordability, and generational impact. Thank you. Thank you for creating spaces where stories like mine can exist and be valued. And I must begin by acknowledging God, because I know I am standing here not only by His grace, but His protection and the message He intends to deliver through me. This morning's reflection is rooted in the story of Nehemiah, a man called not simply to rebuild walls, but to restore community, identity, and hope. And when I look over my own life, I see the same pattern of restoration, brick by brick, movement by movement, and how it truly takes a village. My story begins with broken pieces. My name is Ahmann Lee Bridges, the daughter of late Wanda Terrell and Linda Bobby Taylor. Wanda was my biological mother. She became very sick with breast cancer while my siblings and I resided in California. When her health declined, she made a final decision as a mother to get her children to a place where family could surround us, where her village could step in. And so we arrived right here in Atlanta when I was 6 years old. New city, new people, new possibilities, and a whole new world that felt unfamiliar and overwhelming. My world very much felt like the walls of Jerusalem Nehemiah first saw, vulnerable, exposed, in need of rebuilding. But just as God sent Nehemiah, He was already sending builders to help me. Shortly after Wanda passed, the Lord placed me in the care of her village. My Aunt Bobby, who stepped in as a mother, her firmness, her honesty, her structure grounded me. She taught me morals, accountability, respect, and she refused to let me fall. My mentor, Tracy. A builder of people, a mechanic of broken spirits, a champion of affordability and community sustainability. She reminded me that broken beginnings do not determine final outcomes. And my dear friend Teresa, who guided me professionally and taught me how to walk boldly into rooms that I once felt unqualified for. And my dear Auntie Marcia, who humble spirits helped me and guided me through rough times. These women were my Nehemiahs, sent by God to rebuild what had life. In the past 2 years, I've lost 3 of these beautiful women, Bobby, Teresa, and Marcia. Losing them made me feel again like that little girl in foster care, arriving in Atlanta, scared, lost, and searching for purpose. But just like before, my village showed up, my partners showed up, my community showed up. They rebuilt me in sections, just like the wall in Nehemiah's story, piece by piece. And the reason people like me can help rebuild. My assignment is to help rebuild communities, not physically, but emotionally, economically, and generationally. And it is no coincidence that my father, grew right here in English Avenue in the Bond City community. And today, I live on the very street where his footsteps were once planted. God has literally brought me back to the ground my family once walked, so I can help restore what was once broken in this community and watch my children grow up surrounded by generational love and hope. Today, I am no longer that scared little girl burdened with grief. I am a mother of 8 beautiful children, a woman rooted in purpose, a woman rebuilt by God's grace, a woman becoming a pillar in the very community that raised me. My life is a testimony of walls torn down and walls rebuilt, personally, professionally, and spiritually. A village can save a child. A village can stabilize a community. A village can rebuild me. A village saved me. And now God allows me through my work, through my calling, to help rebuild the village for someone else. Atlanta has its own Nehemiah story. Walls torn down, communities fractured, and people who lost hope. The West Side is thriving, and today it continues to grow, strategically, intentionally, and collaboratively. But rebuilding always begins the same way, with people, with purpose, with partners like Westside Future Fund, Atlanta Land Trust, Oaks ATL, and Invest Atlanta. Nehemiah teaches us that every person had a section of the wall. No one person did everything, but everyone did something. Let us pray. This scripture is from Nehemiah 6:3. I am doing a great work and I cannot come down. God makes us builders, makes us protectors of families, supporters of communities, and carriers of hope. Give us the courage of Nehemiah to see broken places, to believe they can rise again, and to take our place on the wall. So today, I challenge each of you, join me on the wall, be a part of someone's village, help rebuild what has been broken, and remember, there are going to be people, things, and elements beyond our control trying to stop us. Let's help shape Atlanta together again, and let's rebuild our wall. Amen.
All right, well, that was amazing. I think when she first came in, you could tell she put a lot of vulnerability out there. So I first checked in with her, was it okay to share that? And she said yes. And the other, what I've come to appreciate, there's the message and then there's living the message. And especially living a message that can be hard, right? To not let brokenness break you. And so exemplifying that message is deeply inspirational. So, and I think exactly what Nehemiah probably had in mind. So let's just give her another round of applause. All right, I'm going to now move into our self-introductions. And for those that are first-time guests, we do these self-introductions, back to building community is about getting to know one another. And a lot of folks are coming together that may not know each other. And so that's why we take the time to do self-introductions. And we've learned a lot of good networking comes out of this. But the other thing about this, when we do these self-introductions to move through the whole room, we are on a clock. We are on a clock. And we love to get to know people, we really do, but we are on a clock. And I know when you get the microphone and say, talk longer than John said, doesn't matter what, please, we love what you hear. If you have a message you want to get out, we can help get it, but we just want to be respectful of giving everyone a chance. So that the example would be, when I say self-introduce, please stand, hold the mic close to your mouth, first time. Hello, I'm John Ahmann. I work with the Westside Future Fund. I live in Vine City. That's that, and so because we really do want to move through, and I'm going to start different this time. I usually start on the other side, but I'm going to start on this side, and we're going to move row by row, and I'll first start with our guest.
Good morning. Dr. Eloisa Klementich, Invest Atlanta, and I live in Grant Park.
All right, thank you.
Got this.
Jaron Sullivan, and I live on Eagles Avenue. Yeah.
Thank you. There you go. You can do it. Just stand up.
My name is Kinsley Simpson Terrell, and I live in English Avenue.
Yay.
My name is Kylie, and I live in English Avenue.
All right. Sure. I'll keep the moment.
Ivana Lee Bridges, English Avenue.
Tracy Jones, I live in Atlanta.
Shannon Lindsay, and I live in Noonan, Georgia.
Dallas Smith, proud member of the Westside Future Fund, and I live in Atlanta.
Hi, I'm Neil Shorthouse. Good morning. With Partners in Change, building personal, educational, and economic upward mobility.
Good morning. My name is Bob Dickinson. I'm the founder and executive director of STEAM and from Alfreda.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Lewis. I work for Invest Atlanta, and I live in Old Fourth Ward.
CEO, and I live in South Fulton.
Good morning, Tremaine Green, Invest Atlanta, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yolanda Harris, I work with Invest Atlanta, and I live in Southwest Atlanta.
Good morning, I'm Eric Bethea, Champion Home Inspection Services, and I do inspections for.
Good morning, Michael Davis, Atlanta Beltline Partnership.
Hello, Nate Hammond, Hammond Engineering, Metro Atlanta.
Good morning, Westside Future Fund board member and principal at Perkins & Will.
Good morning. My name is Tyler Roy. I'm a commercial real estate broker. I'm a proud resident of the West Side.
Good morning. My name is Carolyn Carr. I'm back in Atlanta after 5 years and lived on Peter Street as an artist for 27 years, and I'm so glad to be here.
Good morning. I'm Kenesha Warren. I'm a city real estate over in Summerhill.
Good morning. I'm Ashley Todd, Ashview Heights resident, and I'm with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Awesome. Sean Watwood, proud English Avenue resident and Westside Future Fund evangelist.
Good morning, John Thompson, local business owner, and I'm building a home in Grove Park.
Good morning. I'm Kashi Segel, founder and CEO of Vertaza. We operate 10 markets in and around Atlanta, 2 on the west side, and we're giving out 275 turkeys today at City of Refuge at 2 p.m. Please send people our way.
Good morning, Marvin Bussey, Teens at Work.
Good morning, Gavin McGuire, Grove Park Foundation.
Morning. My name is Callum McGarry. I do treasury management for PNC Bank, and I live in Midtown.
Happy Friday, I'm Tasha Ford. I'm a community engagement consultant for the tech industry and also a proud alum of the illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
Greetings. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kwame Uhuru of the Willie North Institute for Agriculture, Art, and Social Elevation. I live in Thomasville, but I was born, raised, grew up in the West End, and I also work in the West End right now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ellen Goldwasser, clinical social worker, and I live in Adair Park.
Good morning, Dan Byers, McWhorter Realty Partners, and I live in Marietta.
Good morning, Ashley Stewart with freerent.org, and I live in Gresham Park.
Good morning. My name is Jerica Williams with Mercy Housing. I stay in Henry County and Stockbridge.
Good morning. My name is Joan Johnson. I'm also with Mercy Housing, and I actually live in Douglasville.
Good morning. My name is Ebony Charlie, and I'll be a future resident of the West Side.
Good morning, John McGee with World Cup Ready, a proud resident of Grove Park.
Good morning, Carmen Jordan. I live in Grove Park.
Excuse me. Good morning, Linda Adams, Vine City resident.
Good morning. My name is Aisha Wyatt, and my daughter resides in Vine City, and I volunteer in the community.
Good morning, I'm Steve Phillips. I'm a broker with Keller Williams in town.
Good morning. My name is Emick Jordan. I am a real estate agent with Bulls Real Estate, and I own GeorgiaHomebuyersClub.com.
Good morning. I'm Bangsir Kuchu. I'm a strategist and architect at Gensler.
Good morning. I am Monty Norwood. I serve at Bible Way Ministries International in Norwood Manor in Thomasville Heights.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanetta Collins, and I serve alongside Monty Norwood at Bible Way Ministries in Norwood Manor, Thomasville Heights area. I'm a double alum of the Atlanta University Center, and I live in College Park. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jalen Smith. I'm a real estate professional, and I am from here and I live on the West End currently.
Good morning. Charles Merriweather, representing Goodwill, where we put people to work.
Good morning, Linwood Sessoms, the owner of Regency Protection. As you can see, I'm also with the Fulton County Sheriff's Department, and I'm working with John at Westside.
Good morning, Jennifer Barbosa with International Supply Partners, and I live in Eastlake.
Excellent. Good morning, I'm Jonathan Brown. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. I also work for the federal government. I'm not going to tell you what agency because everybody would run. And I live in the Carver Hills area. That is the west side, even though it's not on the list. I think we're so glad you're still here.
Good morning. I'm Levi Taylor III. This is my daughter and my grandbaby. And I started my life in Vine City. And I went to school at Bethune, right on Northside Drive. So I just like to thank my baby.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're doing excellent. Thank you, everybody. We're going to start here.
Angela from Atlanta.
Morning, Toby Myrie representing South Fulton.
Hey, I'm Amari. I'm from Atlanta.
I'm Arian, and I'm from Atlanta.
Good morning, family. I'm Tillman Ward, Community Resources of Atlanta, based in historic, beloved Vine City. This is where yesterday meets tomorrow, and we thank you for your help.
Good morning. My name is Danielle Fernandez. I live in Castleberry Hill, AUC.
Bria Philpott, Westside resident.
Good morning, beautiful people. I'm Valika Holt, the owner of Midtown Atlanta Notaries, the #1 notary firm in Atlanta, and I live in Midtown.
Good morning. My name is Annie Kalem Chiku, founder of La Papa. We do care for families and children with disabilities.
Good morning. My name is Philip Raid. I live in Mechanicsville.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Badgett. I'm with Goodwill, and I live in Smyrna.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sydney High. I'm the regional and site manager for the Goodwill over here on Metropolitan Parkway, and I am from Atlanta.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tori Driette. I'm with Atlanta Way 2.0, and I live in Vinings.
Good morning. My name is Arthur King. I'm with Grove Park.
Good morning. I'm Cora King from Atlanta.
Happy Friday. My name is Rosario Hernandez. I'm an English Avenue resident, and I represent Historic Westside Gardens.
Good morning, I'm Daryl Ashore. I'm a resident of Reynoldstown.
Hello, my name is Chuck Welsh. I'm a brand strategist and entrepreneur, and I live in Smyrna.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Laf Abelard, IT consultant, Kennesaw, Georgia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Wilson Pan. I'm from New York, managing director at Blue Creek Advisors.
Good morning, my name is Stephen Mucci, video storyteller from Oakland City.
Good morning, I'm Annie Moore, and the Director of Operations of the Green Team of English Avenue and an English Avenue resident.
Good morning. My name is Colette Haywood. I'm a Vine City resident, proud owner of a home on the west side, Morris Brown College graduate, ITC graduate, and Westside TAD Advisory Board member, and a senior organizer for the Partnership for Southern Equity.
Hi, my name is Anna Clark. I'm with the West Atlanta Watershed Alliance and the Proctor Creek Stewardship Council.
Laura Heary, Atlanta, former board member of Grove Park Foundation and an original one.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry to be hidden. My name is Karen Babineau. I'm the stewardship manager for the Atlanta Land Trust and a valued partner with Westside Future Fund.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dana Brown, Director of Parenting and Adoption Support Services with Families First, and we are located across from Ashby train station.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nkosi King, and I'm a cybersecurity consultant specifically around identity access management, and I also do real estate development predominantly in Mississippi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paris Tyler, and I reside in Grant Park.
Good morning, Christy Beam. I am the founder of the Academy for Innovation in Medicine, AIM, where we support students from middle school to med school, opening next year in Atlanta Public School. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Thelma Renault. I was born and raised in the English Avenue, and I'm so glad to be here this morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keith Renault. I'm a resident of English Avenue.
Good morning. My name is Ollie Turner. I'm with Atlanta Way 2.0, and I live in Emory Village.
Good morning, y'all. My name is Quadras Black. I'm the current chair of MPUS, and I live in Southwest Atlanta.
Good morning. My name is Andre Maldonado, and I am a Midtown resident.
Good morning, Sophia On with Truist Bank, and I reside in Morningside.
Good morning, Jeff Koski, KB Advisory Group. I live in Eastlake, MPUO.
Good morning, my name is Tori Pollard. I am the founder of United Oak, professional fundraising and organizational development for nonprofits. I'm in Marietta.
All right, good morning, everybody. Excuse my voice. I'm Garfield Peart. I'm an architect, Atlanta business leader for ESSA. So we are architects and engineers, and I live in the great neighborhood of Summer Hill.
Good morning, y'all. My name is Kai Harris. I'm on the community outreach team for the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Good morning, all. I'm Len Erickson. I'm with Franklin Street, and I'm a mixed-use retail and real estate advisor, and I'm here on behalf of Westside Future Fund.
I'm Erin Peterson, the founder of Scout Stories, and my job is to help tell the stories that move Atlanta forward.
Hey, family. Eddie LaRocco, business development at Scout Stories, live in Atlanta.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Arrington. I'm representing My Fellow Man nonprofit, and I'm also executive director of the MLK Ashby Merchants Association.
Good morning, Alex Easterling, executive director for Athletes Media Excellence, and we serve kids on the West Side.
Good morning. I'm John Park. I serve as an architect with Genzer, and I'm based out of Kirkwood.
Morning, everyone. My name is Jonathan Camo. I'm a field service engineer, and I stay in Decatur, Georgia.
Good morning. My name is Megan Noel. I'm a student at Spelman College and a paralegal, and I'm also in Decatur.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amaris, and I'm a newly published children's author. I'm working on my real estate license and a really passionate Goodwill shopper. And I live in Chamblee, Tucker.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tamika Felton, Workforce Development Initiatives at Atlanta Community for Progress by way of Bank of America.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marion Dabney, and I'm a Westside resident.
Good morning. My name is Veronica Mount. I'm the founder of Land of Promise, and I live in South Fulton.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nikita Hankerson, and I'm a realtor with Caldwell Banker, and I am a proud resident of South Fulton.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Charles Hankerson with CTS Engineering, headquartered out of Fort Lauderdale, with an expansion office here in Atlanta that I'm trying to grow as a DBE. So, pleasure to be with you all, South Fulton.
My name is Matt Maxwell, resident of English Avenue, and also work with Oaks ATL Community Development.
Rue Gunter. I am also a resident of English Avenue, and I also work with Oaks ATL Community Development.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Trevor Gunter, English Avenue resident.
Good morning. I'm Leela Gill with NID Housing Counseling Agency.
Hello, I'm Archie Emerson. I'm the broker owner of Dedicated Realty Incorporated, and we run a NID Housing Counseling Agency. And I am one of the brokers that help move these property for the West Side future.
Good morning. My name is Tamon Jack with the Fortified Housing Fund, and we are a workforce housing developer here on the west side of Atlanta.
Happy morning. I'm Tim Green, radio personality, owner of Tim Green Films and Next Kids Worldwide, which is a streaming platform, positive programming 24 hours a day for kids.
My name is Todd Dozier Sr., and I live on the west side.
I'm Allison Dozier. I serve as the executive director of the Berean Outreach Ministry Center, and I am so pleased to report that we will be resuming our operations on the west side.
Good morning. I'm Patricia Lee, a native of Mississippi. I live in Kennesaw. I'm the CEO of Re21 and the president of Literacy to Success nonprofit.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Mary Ann Filoni. I also am a native of Mississippi. Thought that's a theme this morning. Started Bold Impact ATL, a new nonprofit with 2 initiatives: Sustain the Game around the World Cup and Sustain the Home, and Westside Future Fund. We've got our eyes on you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Leroy Wright. I'm the senior pastor of First Thessalonian Missionary Baptist Church, and we want to invite you tomorrow to our annual Thanksgiving feast with St. Stephen Missionary Baptist and Prospect.
Good morning. My name is Anthony Bellows, and I'm a legacy resident of English Avenue, and happy Thanksgiving.
Good morning. Glad to be here. My name is Matthew Coleman. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I'm the CEO of VI Capital Lending Group. We provide money for investors, real estate investors. I'm also the committee chair for the Real Estate and Professional Services Committee of the Atlanta Black Chambers.
Good morning, everybody. Eric Smith, a civil engineer with generational ties to the West Side.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gregory Rivers. I'm CEO and founder of Nova MSP. We're a managed service provider that have our own internet service across America. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sullivan. I'm a software engineer and a new resident on the West Side.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Andre Payne. I am a builder, real estate developer, general contractor, and a resident of AUC.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dante Murphy. I'm a real estate developer and investor, and I live in Smyrna, Georgia.
All right. Well, we want to move through. Yes, sir. All right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheldon Hill. I'm with Foreclosure International. We stop foreclosures on rentals as well as evictions on homes and apartments. And we also give money to help people that are in need. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you for taking the time to do these self-introductions. One thing we really appreciate, because we know it takes a bit of time and we really want to be intentional about doing it, is because it says that we're all, here and present. Because we've talked about as a team, knowing that it's a lot of people move through. We knew we'd have a big crowd here this morning to hear Eloisa, but the intentionality and the appreciation for people coming to participate in that vision statement of how we develop a community Dr. King would be proud to call home, to be seen and heard and recognized, we think is just critical. So I really appreciate the time to do the self-introductions, and hopefully as we went around the room, you may have heard someone you'd like to meet, get to know better, and we would certainly welcome that. And now we're going to move to the next part of our program, and I go back to this mic, but I'm really appreciate that Eloisa is here this morning, and we are honored to have her, who's been leading economic development in Atlanta. As president and CEO of Invest Atlanta, Dr. Eloisa Klementich has led the city economic development agency since 2016, which is amazing, your longtime leadership, transforming it into a nationally recognized model for equity-driven economic mobility. Under her leadership, Invest Atlanta has helped create over 12,000 affordable housing units, generated over 60,000 full-time jobs, supported over 35 million in small business funding, and driven 9.6 billion with a B in capital investment, resulting in economic impact of over 22 billion for our city. She's been recognized as Georgia's 100 most influential, a Titan 100 honoree, and one of North America's top 50 economic developers. So please, let's give her a big welcome, a round of applause for being here. Thank you. Are we doing the picture?
Oh. Switch.
All right, yes, please.
Switch sides? Yeah.
Sorry.
Seeing these people going. Okay. Thank you.
So we're going to go for a few questions, and then we're going to have around 10 minutes or so for audience Q&A before we wrap it up.
Okay.
But first, Eloisa, and I know that y'all have been so intentional about this, which is inclusive growth. So first, how does your team define inclusive growth, and what are some of the ways you're ensuring it's embedded in your approach, particularly in historically disinvested neighborhoods?
I'm going to answer that question, but if I can take 30 seconds. I just wanted to recognize Ivana. She was so nervous, and I was so proud of her, of what she did this morning. And what I'm really also proud about is the Invest Atlanta team that's in the house that showed up, because she was like, I'm so nervous. And we're like, we'll go there. So just thanks to the Invest Atlanta team, and Ivana did amazing. So. Okay. So the question is about inclusive growth and how do we define inclusive growth. At the end of the day, we really want to ensure that we help as much as we can and play a role to empower individuals to really be successful, whatever they want to see themselves as successful. How do we create that path? And we've been very, very purposeful in trying to understand what can we do and how can we, I like to say, move the needle, right? Make a difference. And so one of the things we did about 6 years ago, working with the Bloomberg Foundation, we started to think through how can we target certain parts of the city. Now, fast forward to where we are now and the whole equity conversation, we didn't realize how telling what the work we were going to do 6 years ago is really helping us now. But what we did in essence is we created 4 buckets and we pulled 32 metrics that are used nationally, from the American Community Surveys to the census. So looking at 3rd grade reading level, who has access to a car, what is the disposable income that families have, 32 of these metrics. And we then mapped them out and said, who has the highest indicators, who has the lowest indicators? And where we said we were focused is on the 32 lowest indicators. And just to give you a general sense, you can find the map on our website. It's I-20, a little east, a little west, but pretty much I-20 down is what we've determined as underserved communities. And we've been focusing. All of our metrics are really on how much have we done of this program in this part of town. So maybe one last example, John, because I think it makes it real. Do we all remember the COVID days? Maybe we don't want to remember the COVID days. That's fine. I don't either. Okay, so one of the things we said was the city of Atlanta said, Invest Atlanta, here's $15 million. We would like you to disperse it for small businesses. So we actually put in our criteria, if you lived in one of our underserved communities, you would get an extra point in our evaluation. Looking back at that first round of funding that we got, over 70% of the businesses in round one who got funding from us were in underserved communities because of that point. So we knew it worked. Now, in that specific case, we ended up getting more money, so pretty much everyone who applied got money. But it really did show us in that first round that it makes a difference when we're very purposeful. And just yesterday, we had an Invest Atlanta board meeting. I reported on some of the things that we've been doing for food access, and one of the reports are 50% of all the tools we're using are going to this part of the community. So not only are we saying we want to help in this part of the city, but we're being very purposeful. We're tracking our success through our KPIs to ensure that we really are doing what we said we're going to do.
And that's a great setup because it really lays the foundation for this next question, which is as you look to the next 5 or 10 years going into the future, what role do you see kind of the greater West Side, because we have a lot of West Side neighborhoods here this morning, playing in Atlanta's broader economic development strategy? And what excites you most, about the potential over the next 5 to 10 years?
Right. Well, I would say I'm not going to wait for 5 to 10 years. I think you're doing it now. The West Side is doing it now. I've been here about 15 years. I got here when I was 5. Let's make sure you're all awake. Okay, just go with the flow. Just give me a little grace on age. That is a thing. Okay, but when I got here, I remember it was one of the first meetings I went to was here in the West Side. And I remember driving and walking the West Side and thinking, oh my God, Invest Atlanta has invested so much money in this part of the city. And I was like, there's so much work that still has to get done, right? Where do we invest it? And so one of the things that we then were very purposeful, and I was at a West Side Future for one of your first meetings that you had, and I'm looking to see if he's here. No, he's not here. But this was about 13 years ago, and I gave I think was a great speech, who knows? But anyways, one of the questions was, Eloisa, why do you give me a compartmentalized solution if we don't live compartmentalized lives? Meaning, why are you only focused on one piece of me if I am so much more? And what he said really, really resonated. And so I fundamentally changed how we saw things. So we were real purposeful. I remember making a graph. Okay, what can we do to support schools in the neighborhood? What can we do to support community development? What can we do to support safety and security? What can we do to support housing? Because typically our niche was housing. We're going to support housing, and it's very important. I'm not saying housing is not important. But if someone has a house but doesn't have a job or doesn't have daycare, it's really hard to make it all work, was what I heard. And so we were really purposeful just to see, can we do and how do we impact those? So literally we set that out and we started to get to work. But where's Eloisa going with this? Hang in with me. So at the time, we were really thinking about how do we address all of the West Side in those different buckets. Then the West Side Future Fund came. And this was my aha moment to go having a community quarterback is crucial. So your question is, what are you doing in the next 5, 10 years? I think you're doing it now. I think the fact that we have communities coming from different parts of the United States seeing the work that you guys have done as the community quarterback has really changed the game. And I was glad to see you're still here. Grove Park is doing it now. Other parts of the city is really being very purposeful on a community quarterback that's looking at the entirety of a person's life, and knowing that you can't do it all. Nobody can do it all, and I think Ivana said it brilliantly. No one can build the wall by themselves, but where do you lead, where do you follow, and where do you support? You still need to have access to that. So I think you're doing it now, and I think the West Side Future Fund and the work you're doing with all of the partners, corporate partners, nonprofits, government, all leading together is what's making a difference.
No, thank you, and folks may not be aware, when the West Side Future Fund was launched back in 2014 by the Atlanta Committee for Progress at the time, and Eloisa was a key architect to the launch and has been with us since the very beginning as so thank you for that partnership. The next, and I guess I also want to recognize, 'cause I know you have some of your teamers, so if you're with Invest Atlanta, just raise your hand because it's going to set up the next question. So if you work with Eloisa as part of, yeah, come on.
There you
it's
go.
It's all going to be okay, I promise. It's all good. All right. Thank you for being here this morning.
So if you want any of the programs, don't come to me, come to them.
But we appreciate, because Invest Atlanta administers a wide range of funding tools, from small business grants to affordable housing incentives. And I know you got a great team that does that. That's why I want to make sure folks appreciate your folks here this morning. Are there specific programs or opportunities available that Westside business or residents should take advantage of right now?
Yeah, I think what's exciting about Invest Atlanta, what people don't typically recognize, is we really have like two sides of the house. You have your economic development, so you'll see us involved with business attraction, new companies, helping current companies grow and expand, innovation and entrepreneurship, right? We do a lot in that space, and then we do a lot on the community development side. Commercial corridor, affordable housing, single family, multifamily, rehab. So the spectrum is wide of what we could do. And in fact, the other day, the amazing COO, Don Arnold, and I were counting up how many programs we've created. Over 30 new programs have come in through Invest Atlanta. So I think that's something that I really try to ensure that we're being nimble to address whatever those issues are. But to your question, if you're a small business in the house, I would say look at Invest Atlanta for a small business loan portfolio. Now, I do have some businesses saying, hey, we'd love grants. I love them too, so we're in it together. But I don't have grant money right now. Usually grant money comes for specific initiatives that we have or that we're promoting. CARES Act, think water grants. Those are different types of funds that come in the house. Right now we have loans. I will also note that small businesses will go like, Eloisa, I don't want a loan. And I say, I respect that too, but are you financing any part of your business on a credit card? Any small business owners out there? Do you want to say yes or no? Yes, thank you for being honest. Technique to make sure you're not falling asleep on me at 8 o'clock in the morning. So yes, you are. Well, the last time I checked my credit card, anybody know your interest rate? 22%, my goodness, mine's 18. But anyways, very high. Invest Atlanta, you know what Invest Atlanta's interest rate is? 3% and below. So my thought is, even if you're like, I don't want a loan, just come check us out. We may have an option for you. Okay, so that's first. The second is an individual, right? If you're thinking about yourself, your children, wanting to purchase a home, we have down payment assistance program. Please come to see us for that. I would say if we are seniors, now this one I don't do direct, but I'm going to shout you guys because we work very closely on anti-displacement that pretty much creates a cap on your taxes. I like to say, I can't technically say we freeze taxes because taxes keep coming. Have you ever known when your taxes won't come? All right. Just making sure you're with me. So what we do is we'll freeze your taxes. So if you're paying $100 today, you're going to pay $100 the next 20 years. That's an amazing program. 435 people in the city of Atlanta in our program are in that program today. So it is making a difference. The next one I would say, if you're in the faith community, we also have a special program for you because we think that the faith community typically, so think of your church, wherever it is, usually our missions align when it comes to affordable housing. You want to help those that attend your church. We want to help them too, ensure they have affordable housing. But we love our churches. They are asset rich and sometimes, not all the time, sometimes cash, I like to say tight maybe, their cash flow, right? So our idea was let's create a forgivable loan that says, if you think in your parking lot or in that extra property that you don't really use, you potentially could build affordable housing, we want to make sure that you could tap into that funding today to do your environmental report. Is it feasible for you to build a structure? So that's another tool that's available to you. Developers, any developers in the house? I thought I saw a couple. Woo, thank you, we love you. We're trying to get to 20,000 units by 2030, thank you, 2030. So we love every unit that we possibly can get there. Pretty much, if you're going to build anywhere from 5 and up, come see Invest Atlanta. Definitely, there'll probably be some tool for us to help you with multifamily. Our mayor and the city council are very keen on affordable housing, so we've been opening up as much as we can to try to support affordable housing. And I think I hit the main buckets.
Yeah, and No, thank you. And may I do one more question and we'll open it up to the audience? But
Okay.
the next, I'll step a little bit, but the Westside TAD, and for those that aren't familiar, Invest Atlanta administers all the city's tax allocation districts.
Yeah.
And the Westside TAD includes English Avenue, Vine City, and a little bit of West Downtown. And that Invest Atlanta, approves all the disbursement from the Westside TAD. And what's unusual about the Westside TAD is the Fulton County Commission also says it needs to approve any project, and that's a little atypical. But earlier this year, Fulton County Commissioners introduced a resolution to withdraw, as we all know, from the Westside Tax Allocation District, which would pause approximately $9.4 million in annual contributions. Although a vote was postponed, the conversations have committed, and concerns remain about the potential impact on affordable housing, infrastructure, and economic development on the West Side. From your perspective, how critical is Fulton County's participation, and anything you want to kind of say about the current state of negotiations?
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the story. My father loved handy, this always auto body shop, always building something and making something. So we were in the living room. He had all his tools out, and he says, "Hey, Eloisa, can you give me the hammer?" But the hammer was like over there, and I don't know, was playing something or doing something. So I handed him a screwdriver. And he's like, I said I needed a hammer. I was like, well, just use the handle. You can use the handle to knock in the nail. And my dad's like, if I use the hammer, I could be much more direct, and I can really make the impact that I need to do with this nail. And I was like, okay, fine. So I got up, gave him the hammer. Lesson learned. If you have a toolkit, it's very good if you need a hammer, use a hammer. What's happening today? The federal government, so think of the city of Atlanta, has their toolkit. The federal government is cutting and taking away some tools. We've all seen it. They're taking away some of your tools. So you have less amount of tools. The state is taking away some of our tools. So if now the city says, I have this toolbox, this is all that's left, federal's gone out, state's gone out, and all I have is this, and you're going to take away one of the most important tools that we have that's flexible, it becomes much harder to build whatever it is you're building. Not impossible. I guess technically you can use the handle to the screwdriver, but it's going to be much harder. You'd be much more effective with the hammer, right? Right, so that's what I would say is what any of our jurisdictions do not decide that they do not want to participate in the TAD, it would really hinder our ability to deliver. And that's what I would want to communicate is that we need every tool we possibly can today. And if any of our jurisdictions come out, it will make it very difficult for us to deliver on the projects that we are so focused on. And the last thing I would like to say is that what's so amazing about the it's the TAD, Tax Allocation District, or TIF. So I should probably just define what it is real quick. Tax increment financing, basically what it does. Are there any lawyers in the house? Okay, we love our lawyers, but this is not, this is not a lawyer definition. This is like a people definition, okay? So basically, my lawyers will be like, that's not how it works. This is how we understand it. Basically, what it'll do is when the TAD is created, it's set a base. And it says all of these taxes at a base will continue to go to the jurisdictions. Anything above the base, all of this will go to the TAD. And you invest it in a specific area. I cannot take TAD money from the west side and put it on the east side. It has to go here. So what you're doing is you're reinvesting in yourselves in a very specific way. And that money is very flexible compared to everything else, right? I mean, I have to follow my lawyer says she keeps me out of orange, and I love that. Orange does not go good with the color. So, but you have to spend it in certain ways, and we do follow the law, but really it allows for us for flexibility that you don't see in many other tools, okay? And so what I would just say is if you look at the social determinants of health, right? And we talked about this a little bit, about looking at an entire person, right? When we talked about I don't live compartmentalized lives, is if we look at schools and communities, You could have the best school, the best teacher, the best classroom, but if that child's hungry, if that child does not have a stable home, if their parents aren't in the house because they're working 3 jobs, it becomes very difficult for that child to perform. So I talked to David Edwards, and he often says that it's a reflection, the neighborhood schools reflecting each other. And so I believe that if we can really support the community, we will find a way to support our children to do better in school in some of these areas. And so I would just say that we need all jurisdictions. It really does drive impact to community, and it's a very important tool.
No, thank you. And we, Westside Future Fund, have been advocating with the Fulton County Commission to keep that tool, appreciating that we want to invest in these neighborhoods so it generates even more tax revenue for all 3 jurisdictions. So certainly if you're interested in that, we could love to tell you more, and certainly we'd encourage folks, if they're inclined, to contact the Fulton County Commissioners. But now we want to open up to the audience. So if you have a question, Sonia will bring in the mic, and we've got numerous hands up, so please be patient with us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. My name is Stephen Muhammad. I'm with the Vine City Civic Association, and I just want to give a shout out to our partners. World Congress Center, State Farm, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Last week, they gave us over 8,000 meals to distribute, and we did that. So I know we distributed more meals than anybody in the city last week, and I want to just thank them for what they did. 2, we need money, we need donations for our food things. Tillman Ward's our finance chairman, so give him a check. All right, so now let me go this way. What is the program? You've got great housing programs, and we thank the work you're doing on Joseph Boone, the investment that you made with the Russell Integral Project. What is the plan for food deserts? Because I deal with the food part of Vine City Civic Association. What is the food desert plan to alleviate that on the west side and throughout the city of Atlanta?
Yeah. Yesterday, thank you so much for the question. Yesterday, I gave an update to the board at Invest Atlanta, and we looked at our grocery strategy. So we've been focusing on food access, fresh food access, and reasonable price fresh food access in the city. And we've been doing it for about 2 years now. We have over 45 projects that we've brought in, but our strategy is a 4-pillar strategy. The first is we're going to continue to try to attract the big grocers to Atlanta, because we need everybody to chime in to make the difference, right? But any surprise why we haven't been able to get some of these big grocers in the city of Atlanta? Yeah, it's been very difficult. We put incentives on the table. We said, we'll give you free land. And they're just like, yeah, Eloisa, the median household income isn't there, the population's not there, the education. I've heard every excuse. So this is why the mayor said, nope, we're going to do something more specific. And we set up a $6 million fund. We're opened up 1 municipal store. It's the first one that we've ever done. Where is it? Yes! Thank God you know about it. Please shop there. But yes, it is downtown, and that municipal market is the first grocery store since 2005 in downtown. So that was going to be huge. Now our next one is on Campbellton. We'll be opening in March, April of this year. So that is just one component. So we're going to attract it, but if you're not coming, we're going to figure out the municipal market strategy. The second is we're really working on innovative strategies. So we're using alternatives. I don't know if you've been to Nourish and Bloom, Gooder. These are different they're not the big grocery stores we're used to. Have you been to Nourish and Bloom? You use your cell phone to come in and shop 24 hours. I mean, we're trying it all. If that works for a group of people, then so be it, if that gets us in there. Gooder, much smaller. We work with Rataza as well to try to understand how we can help and get more fresh food out to individuals. The second thing we're going to do is technical assistance. So we're spending a lot of time there. We've mapped out every single grocer in the entire city and said, any type of food. And the idea was, how can we get our current grocers to either invest in some of their systems that they have, lower their prices, expand to different, a broader reach. And we have been very purposeful on that because there are a lot of great community markets that we want to ensure that they are continuing to be successful. But that is part of the strategy as well. And then just the overall environment and the political landscape. And I can tell you that it is making a difference. The goal is that the entire city have access to fresh food and vegetables within a half a mile. And we just launched, thanks to Georgia Tech, a dashboard where you could see where all the holes are throughout the city. And so we're keenly focused on what are we going to do with all of these holes to attract more fresh food options in these areas. And so our idea is to continue to push. Oh, and the last one that I think I'm super excited about is the key to unlocking, in my opinion, and bringing down the prices for even our existing grocers, think about your local small ones, is this is a very low margin competitive market. Like they make like cents on every can and it's very, very small. And so if I could figure out a way for some of these small grocers to have a central distribution spot, right? And then that central distribution spot means they can order in a bulk. So right now, if I'm one grocery store and I'm ordering a carton of eggs, it's probably going to cost X. But if I order a pallet of eggs, your cost is going to come down. And so once I get your cost down because of your ordering size, now your distribution will be key because you used to pay money. Just think of Amazon. When Amazon delivers to your house, you pay X, even though we're all Amazon members or something, right? You're paying a high delivery cost. But if you're all delivering to one central location and you only have to pay for delivery in a much shorter way, then your cost of distribution comes down too. So we're being really purposeful in what we can do to help attract new, and then those that are existing lower their costs as well, which then those costs get transferred to the community. So long-winded answer, but I hope I got you.
Thank you.
And I'm available after if you want to keep speaking.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
It's funny you point to me. I'm actually specifically a tax real estate attorney, so.
I love my attorneys, don't get me wrong.
Anyway, my name is Lance Grove. I work with Grove 1031. So we specialize in utilizing state and federal tax guidelines to help mitigate capital gains tax for commercial real estate investors. I recently just moved here like two weeks ago because we do it all across the country, and it was a large percentage of our clients. I'm like, why is everybody going to Atlanta?
Woo, we like that.
Why is everyone going to Florida and Texas? Moved it from New York. So I wanted to ask specifically, like we utilize 1031 exchange for when they sell investment property, opportunity zones when they sell any type of capital gains. Are there anything else specific in the city of Atlanta for people who sell investment property, commercial real estate developers, those things, for when they sell, they can mitigate their capital gains because our company specializes in it?
Yeah. We specifically at Invest Atlanta have nothing to do with capital gains. I will tell you, though, that the opportunity zones that are currently designated at the federal level are going to change. We are being told now, with all of the federal being not open, we think that's going to be delayed, but we know there's going to be new opportunity zones that will be set, and they're going to have new regulations. So I don't know what those are yet, but we're doing what we can.
Maria Supporter with Supporter Report and Atlanta Way 2.0. I would love to hear what the city's strategy is to preserve some really amazing landmarks, especially along MLK. Gaines Hall sustained 2 fires while the city supposedly owned it, even though the courts finally decided that Clark Atlanta owned it. Pascal's, so many really real treasures on MLK which help identify what this community means to the history of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. What is Invest Atlanta doing to try and address those issues?
Yeah, that's a good point. First off, I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's important to preserve important buildings that mean so much to our community. So I agree with you completely. You bring up a good point. Invest Atlanta really operates as a partner in the projects. So we typically aren't the ones that are going and doing, right? There are some programs where we're actually doing, but most of and the only one I could really think of is anti-displacement. Most of every program we do, we work with a partner. So all of those buildings that you reference are owned by a different entity. In this case, it's Clark Atlanta. So we've offered to work with them once they figure out what the direction is and what they want to do. This is one way we would use the TAD potentially to help out. Or I don't know if they're going to put some sort of housing in the unit. Then we potentially could use a housing tool. So we would definitely work with Clark Atlanta, who I know has got a lot of plans right now for those buildings, but we wait for them to come and tell us, this is what we want to do, and then we could say, these are the different tools that you may want to consider for your redevelopment.
And there are lots of hands, and I just want to I think we have time for 2 more questions. Okay, thank you.
And then just if you didn't get answered, I am happy to stay here until all questions we answered, so don't, I'll be either here or here. I'll stay as long as I need to, okay?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, and thank you for the work that you do. I serve as the Executive Director of the Berean Outreach Ministry Center. It's a food pantry and resource center. Last year, we impacted 18,761 homes in this community, serving food and fresh produce. Here's my question. In that group of people, we see a lot of homelessness, but we also have a lot of clients that we serve, neighbors, we like to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know, do you have I like to think of it as a crossover pamphlet or information tool that we could utilize in our center to educate and inform those who may be paying high rents that could really cross over into affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what can we use as a tool to direct that?
Yeah.
To cross those folks over into homeownership?
We would love to be a partner with yours. Anything we can do. In fact, we had this conversation yesterday about ensuring that people understand the different available, and it was great to see, John, you showing the homes, but there are a lot of multifamily housing projects that we work on that potentially have some rental units that are affordable that are coming online. So I don't mean to call you out, Michelle, but that's Michelle. She's our amazing community advocate. Thank you, Michelle. Sorry, get me later. But she would be a great person. And what I love about Michelle, she's an expert in our program. She knows the housing. That's where she was before. She could really understand and is happy to go. Thank you, Michelle, for nodding. Happy to go and speak and be there and make ourselves accessible. Because sometimes it's having a conversation with someone that will make a difference. You're welcome.
Hi, Eloise. Thank you for your presentation, and I love what Invest Atlanta is doing. For businesses like mine that are slightly outside of the Atlanta area but serve people in Atlanta, do we qualify for the grants and loans?
So your business has to be in the city of Atlanta. Now, you don't, as a business owner, need to live in the city of Atlanta, but the business has to be in the city of Atlanta to qualify for all of our programs, really. Yeah, and it's interesting to see when we put out a loan program or we've done the senior program, we actually track to see where we're getting applications. We get a lot of applications outside of the city, but we would love to, you know, what I would say, though, Patricia, is that you could reach out. Did you say you were in Cobb? Did I remember that? Kennesaw. Okay, I was close. Okay. They have many programs like ours. So look for the Cobb Chamber or colleagues out there that work in an economic development agency. They may be able to help you as well. And I know ACE does loans for small businesses out in Kennesaw as well. So if you have a question, just ask us. We would probably have a list of other programs that you may be able to qualify for.
Well, there are more hands. Yeah, thank you. So you, for those who didn't have a chance, you said you could stay with us.
Yeah, I will stay here until everybody's questions are answered.
but the depth of your knowledge and your passion for our city, clearly come out. I mean, you have such detailed and authentic answers and deep answers. So we're grateful on behalf of the Westside Future Fund to partner with Invest Atlanta. So thank you, the Invest Atlanta team. And let's, and what we're gonna do is thank Eloisa one more time, and then we're gonna get ready for our drawing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we're gonna call out 2 lucky winners of a Home Depot gift card and a Goodwill of North Georgia gift card, and then we're done. But we want to go out on a winning note, so I'm going to call out for this is for the which ones is this? So this is a Home Depot gift card. So check your ticket number 419231. 419. Yes, a winner. Home Depot gift card. All right. And this is a Goodwill of North Georgia gift card, 314-0683. 314-0683. All right. We're going to go with it. Another winner. Thank you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in December.